The lawyer slid an envelope across his desk toward me. "Mr. Patterson, before your brother passed, he left specific instructions. You're not to open this until you read his will completely. He said you'd understand why." I was 68 years old. My brother had been dead 3 weeks. Inside that envelope was a photograph I hadn't seen in 43 years, and a truth that would unravel everything I thought I knew about my marriage, my children, and the choice I made one summer night in 1959. Hello, friends. Thanks for joining us at True Experience. If this story resonates with you, please hit that like button and subscribe to stay connected with more real-life tales of betrayal and justice. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community across the USA, Canada, and around the world. Quick note before I begin. I've changed the names in this account to protect the privacy of those involved. What I'm about to tell you is exactly how it happened. I married Linda in June of 1960. I was 24. She was 22, the daughter of my father's business partner, a woman my entire family approved of. Pretty in a conventional way. Good cook, wanted a large family. Everyone said we made sense together. But that wasn't the whole story. The year before, I'd been engaged to someone else. Her name was Rachel. We met at a library fundraiser in Cincinnati where I'd gone to interview for a job I didn't get. She was a librarian, tall, serious, with green eyes and opinions about everything. We talked for hours that first night. She challenged every assumption I'd ever made about work, family, what a life could look like. We got engaged after 6 months. Fast, I know, but it felt right in a way nothing else ever had. My father called me into his office 2 weeks after I proposed. He closed the door, sat me down, told me Rachel's family had problems. Her mother had been institutionalized twice for what they called nervous conditions back then. Her younger sister had some developmental issues. "You need to think about your future children," he said. "These things run in families. Linda's family is solid, healthy. That matters more than you realize now." My mother was more direct. "You marry for love, you divorce for reality," she told me. "You'll thank us in 20 years. I broke it off with Rachel in August. Told her I wasn't ready. Told her the distance was too much. She was in Cincinnati. I was back home in Columbus. I didn't tell her what my father said. I didn't tell her I was already taking Linda to Sunday dinners at my parents' house. Rachel sent me one letter. Just one. It came 3 weeks before my wedding to Linda. She didn't beg, didn't argue. She just wrote, "I hope you find what you're looking for. I hope it's worth what you're giving up. I'll always wonder what our life would have been." I burned that letter in my backyard. Told myself I was doing the right thing. Linda and I had 4 children in 6 years. She was a good mother, kept a clean house, never complained about the long hours I worked at the family business. We went to church every Sunday, took vacations to the same lake house every summer, celebrated every holiday with both our families. It was fine. We were fine. But fine isn't the same as happy, and I knew it even then. The years passed the way years do. Our kids grew up, started their own families. Linda and I became grandparents. We grew older together, 2 people who shared a house and a history, but not much else. We were polite, considerate. We never fought because we never talked about anything that mattered. I thought about Rachel sometimes, late at night mostly, wondered where she was, what she'd done with her life. But I didn't look for her, didn't try to find out. That door was closed. My younger brother Tom was different from me. Artistic, traveled the world, never married. He'd always been the rebel, the one who disappointed our parents by refusing to join the family business. He moved to Seattle, worked as a photographer, lived exactly the life he wanted. We stayed in touch. Not close, but connected. Christmas cards. Phone calls on birthdays. He came home maybe once every 5 years. In March of 2003, Tom called me. Said he had lung cancer. Stage 4. Said he had maybe 6 months, probably less. He asked if I'd come see him. I flew to Seattle in April. Spent a week with him in his small apartment filled with photographs. His work from 40 years of travel. Morocco, Japan, Ireland, Paris. Places I'd never been, would never go. One evening, sitting on his balcony, he asked me a question. "Robert, are you happy?" I didn't answer right away. "I mean truly happy," he pressed. "Not content, not comfortable. Happy." I told him I had a good life. A wife, children, grandchildren, a comfortable retirement. He looked at me with this sad smile. That's not what I asked. He died in July. I flew back for the funeral. Small service, mostly his friends from Seattle, people I'd never met. 3 weeks later, his lawyer called. Said Tom had left me something. Said I needed to come to his office to receive it. That's when he handed me the envelope. Inside was a photograph and a letter in Tom's handwriting. The photograph showed a woman I hadn't seen in 43 years. Rachel. She was older in the photo, maybe in her early 50s, standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, laughing at whoever was behind the camera. Tom's letter was short. Robert, I met Rachel in Paris in 1982. Completely by chance, I was doing a photography assignment. She was on a research trip. We got to talking, and eventually your name came up. She told me everything. We stayed friends. Wrote letters. I visited her when I could. She never married. Built an incredible career as a rare books specialist. Traveled the world. Lived in Paris for 15 years. She died last year. Heart attack. Quick. She asked me not to tell you while she was alive. But she wanted you to know she had a good life. A full life. She had no regrets. But I have a question for you. Do you? She never understood why you left. Neither did I. I remember that summer. I remember how you looked when you talked about her. Then suddenly it was Linda, and you wouldn't discuss it. I'm dying, Robert, so I'm going to be honest. You made the safe choice, the approved choice. But was it the right choice? You're 68 now. However many years you have left, are you going to spend them pretending fine is good enough? Tom, I sat in that lawyer's office for 20 minutes, just staring at that photograph. Rachel had lived the life we talked about. She'd seen Paris. She'd built a career doing something she loved. She'd been happy, and I'd spent 43 years in a marriage that was polite and comfortable and completely empty of passion or real connection. I drove home in silence. Linda was in the kitchen when I walked in, preparing dinner like she had 10,000 times before. How was the lawyer? She asked. Fine, I said. That night, lying in bed next to my wife of 43 years, I finally admitted something to myself. I'd made the wrong choice. Not just wrong for me, wrong in every way that mattered. I'd chosen safety over love, approval over authenticity. I let my parents' fears dictate my entire life, and there was nothing I could do about it now. I'm 73 years old as I tell you this. Linda and I are still married, still polite, still living in the same house we bought in 1965. Our children are successful, well-adjusted adults. They visit regularly. They don't know their parents' marriage is a 48-year performance of contentment. Tom's letter sits in a drawer in my desk. I take it out sometimes, read it again. Look at that photograph of Rachel in Paris. I can't undo the choice I made in 1959. I can't get back those years. I can't know what my life would have been if I'd been brave enough to ignore my parents and follow my heart. But I know this. Every single day, for nearly 50 years, I've wondered what if. And that wondering, that quiet, constant regret, has been its own kind of prison. The payback for playing it safe? You get exactly what you chose, a safe, small life. No risks, no great pain, but no great joy either. Just fine. And fine, I've learned, is the saddest word in the English language. If this story made you think about the choices you've made in your own life, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to True Experience for more real-life accounts of love, regret, and the roads not taken. And tell us in the comments, do you believe in choosing security or following your heart? We read every response.